welcome back to the Real Estate Fairies channel, and today we're going to talk about renting. Woohoo! There are a lot of things to consider, but first and foremost, you want to think about your budget. And when most people think budget for renting, they think rent, right? But there's a whole lot of other expenses out there that you need to think of, particularly your application fees. Because if you're applying for more than one rental, which we often have to in this market, then it can add up pretty quickly. And you have to keep in mind that if anyone in your household that's over 18 years old is going to have to apply as well. So that's an additional fee that you'll have to factor in.
Yeah, another thing that you have to plan for are security deposits. Most of the time they'll ask for 1 month's rent, but many times they'll ask for first and last month's rent. And also, if you have a pet, they might ask for a pet deposit.
And sometimes pet rent. Yes, your pet will have to pay rent.
My dog doesn't have a job though. How is she supposed to pay rent?
Her job is being cute.
That is her job, absolutely.
Too bad you don't get paid for that, right?
Right? I mean, on Instagram. Anyway, other fees that you have to consider is connecting your utilities. So sometimes when you sign up for your internet service, your power bill, connecting your water or your gas, there could be fees associated with initiating those services. So you got to keep that in mind and do your research to see which utilities your landlord is going to require to be in your name. Other things are moving expenses. If you have to pay for a U-Haul or a truck or movers, that can add up pretty quickly depending on how badly you need those services. And if you can't ask friends to do it for free or pay them in pizza and beer, like I like to.
Another thing to take into consideration for financial criteria that your landlord's going to want to see is your credit. And not just your credit, but if you have someone else living with you, remember we talked about someone 18 or older, then their credit's going to be checked as well. And that often is a hard pull on your credit, but if you're doing multiple at one time, typically all of those pulls from different landlords, typically I've read, will count as one. I say typically because I do feel like in the rental industry, it's a lot of different rules, depending on
it's hard to keep up with.
It really is. So you just have to do your research with which application, what you're doing at that time.
And the other financial credit that landlords are going to screen for is your income. So we've talked about debt to income ratio before. Basically, your income has to be higher than your debt. And most of the time, it has to be 3 times higher than your rent.
So it's exciting shopping for a new home, your new rental. But what's even more exciting than that is thinking about owning that home one day, which is called lease to own.
So lease to own, sometimes referred to as rent to own, or lease with the option to buy, lease with the option to purchase. There's a number of phrases that encapsulate these kinds of programs. What it basically is that when you sign the lease, after a certain amount of time, or at any time, depending on the company, you have the first right to buy the property that you're living in as a rental.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
cool.
It's super cool. So the 2 reasons that you might want to apply for these types of programs is if your goal is to buy, but your finances aren't quite right yet, and you want to rent for just a little bit longer. So while you're renting this home, you can be getting your finances in order, improving your credit, improving your income, so that when it comes time to buy, you already have the home. You've already been living in it. Awesome.
I can't tell you how many renters that I've known that love where they're renting, and they want to buy, they want to own, but they love where they live right now.
They want to move, right?
Yes. Yeah, see, and so that's why these are so awesome. Another reason why you might want to do one of these programs is you want to rent, but there aren't enough homes on the rental market. And so you want to see homes that are for sale and maybe rent those out. So our partner, Home Partners of America, can do just that for you.
Yeah, so let me talk to you a little bit about Home Partners. At Coldwell Banker Realty, we partner with Home Partners, who is a lease-to-own company. And basically what they do is they will buy the home in cash for you and then rent it out to you. So you are a regular tenant. They will rent it out to you for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. You will have your rent stipulated beforehand, I think up until 5 years. So you know how much it will increase within the next 5 years. And you have the right to purchase that home if you want to. It could be a month after you start renting, or it could be 12 months or 2 years after you're renting. You basically have the option to buy it at a set price. So the first year that you rent, they will tell you, you can buy this home for, let's say, $300,000. And that is the price that you can purchase it at, whether it's your first month of renting or your last month of renting. That price will not change. After a year, the purchase price does go up a little bit because everything goes up, it's normal. So you can still buy the home after 2 or 3 years, just know the price will go up a little bit. If you decide you don't want to buy the house, you want to keep renting, totally fine. You can keep doing that. There are no fees or penalties. If you want to move out after a year because you don't like the home, you can move out. No fees or penalties for moving out. So it's really a great way to test out the home before you buy it. And like Darcy said, get into that market of homes for sale and look for a home you like that's for sale that this company will buy for you. So if you're interested, please just let us know, comment.
Yep, leave a comment below.
Comment
We'll
all
get
that,
back to you.
all that good stuff, because it's a great program, and we've actually helped a couple renters find a home through this program, so all good.
Yeah, we'll put our link to apply in the video description.
For this particular program, Home Partners, there are others. We don't know all of them, but
And this is the one that we partner with in our company and we love.
yeah, we do. They require a minimum credit score of 580. They also require an application fee of, I think it's $100 now, but there could be a discount when you apply through us. We'll let you know in the link below and all that good stuff too. The other criteria is it has to be a single family home. It cannot be a townhouse or a condo, and it has to be a single family home of $600,000 or less, which in Atlanta is pretty good actually.
That's a really solid starter home in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, and it has to be in like decent condition. It can't be like a tear down or, you know.
They want you to be able to
You wouldn't want to
move
rent
in.
that anyway.
Yeah. They want you to be able to move in right away, no problems.
The good thing about Home Partners is, I'm gonna just hone in on this real quick. So I know you're thinking like the rental market is just as bad as the buyer's market and everyone's fighting for these homes. Yes, but Home Partners, when they buy this home for you, they are a cash buyer. So they're gonna offer cash, which is already like the best buyer anyone can ask for. So they're pretty competitive in the buyer's market.
So for our final thought today in renting, it's to watch out for scams, because unfortunately in the world we live in, there are a lot of scammers out there. So we want to give you a few tips.
Yeah. So first tip, do not give anybody any money before you see the property. Okay, if they're asking you to apply before you see the property, if they're asking you to submit security deposits before you see the property, that is a huge red flag, okay? Do not deal in cash, do not deal in Venmo, do not send anybody any money over Facebook, PayPal, wherever. Qualified property managers typically have a secure portal for you to submit all of your payments through. Do not give anybody any money, because if you send them a Venmo for a $50 application fee, I'm sorry honey, you're not getting that $50 back even if you dispute it with Venmo. Okay, so you gotta be really careful with that.
So true. Another thing to be careful of is your own safety. Don't go viewing properties by yourself. Take a friend, take a family member, take an agent, a trusted agent with you, but definitely don't go by yourself. It's just not safe.
We are all trained in Mortal Kombat.
What we're really trained in is showing homes safely, because we have all been out to properties by ourselves, but there are certain practices that we do every time sharing our location. I bring pepper spray just in case there's somebody sketchy lurking around, but always make sure somebody knows where you're going or somebody is with you.
Do you really have pepper spray?
Yeah, I really do. I also have a stun gun.
Oh my!
She's ready.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just lock doors.
I just have guns.
Yeah.
The next thing you want to do is you want to verify the owner of the property is the same name as the owner on the lease. Okay, so people will all the time pose as the owner of a property on Zillow, on Facebook, on wherever, on Craigslist. Yeah, I was just about to say that. You got me. Yeah. If people still find rentals on Craigslist.
You do.
So the owner of the property, their name needs to be on the lease. And so whether it's a person, whether it's an LLC, you can verify that on the tax records. So in Atlanta, what I like to do is I like to go on the Fulton County Tax Assessor's website, and that's free to access. You can access tax records or public record. And so you can just verify, do some due diligence to make sure that who you're dealing with is the actual owner of the property. The next thing is don't give away your social security info or personal information before verifying the source or the link that it came from. Okay, if somebody is sending you an application for a property on a Google form, that's probably not secure. Huge red flag. Okay, like I said, property managers all typically have a secure portal for you to input your application information, your payments, all of it, and it is secure, and that they only have access, and there's like a firewall, and I don't know cybersecurity, but somebody who does can verify that for me. Okay, so you don't want to give away anything about your identity, social security information, credit, stuff like that. They do need your social security to run your credit, so just be really, really careful before you submit that information.
Definitely. You'll also want to verify the listing information with the property manager. So usually on the listing, you'll find the property manager or the company, and you can go to that website and see if the information on your listing matches what's on their website. So it's just doing a little self-check for yourself. There's a couple of red flags to watch out for. You want to be careful of, you'll see multiple typos, inaccurate information, bad grammar, could be suspiciously low prices, which I know you'll get excited about initially, but you just have to be careful. Odd looking photos, you just have to be careful what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rule of thumb is if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
It's so true. So in closing today, guys, if you're in doubt about the legitimacy of a listing, please reach out to your trusted agent or a friend or someone that you know that knows what they're doing, and just verify, get a second opinion. And thanks for watching today. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Yay!